So, how are covenant courts? 9 stages are involved in biblical covenants. Do I have the time to show them that? Let me show it to them. Number 1, you bring 2 parties together in the presence of a priest, in the presence of a deity or a higher power. Now, if it's mere contract, you need a third party that will enforce, that is strong enough to hold you people accountable. Someone that is stronger than you, that have the means to make you do what you promise or punish you if you fail to do it. So that's why people go to shrines. They go to a priest. Or if it's within the kingdom of God, they come to God Almighty because he has all the means available to him. Then if it's mere contract, they go to court. They are making the government that third party. So when we violate, because government is stronger than citizens, stronger than individuals, they have the security system, they have the legal system, they have all the means, they can hold you accountable. That's why second to a covenant with God might be a legally binding contract. And I even advise people, even if it's business related, money is involved, no matter what you have finished doing with God, still do a contract. Have that. And we say the same thing in marriage. Even if you've seen it doing all what you're doing in the altar, still go and do court marriage. What you have done, if you do court marriage, do church marriage, you have brought 2 enforcement agencies into one agreement. You have made God the third party that can enforce. You have also made the government. Hello? So you kind of created double insurance for one thing. The second thing you do in a covenant, this is how covenant is cut. Is the definition of terms, agreement. What exactly? First of all, what do you want? I want to be rich. I want to be a governor. I'm going into politics. I want protection. You see some of the 3 major purposes. There are other sub-purposes. I want relationship. I just want our union, fidelity. I don't want you to ever betray me. And I want, if anything happens, you look after my family, look after my children. I want you to watch, be my friend. I don't want this kind of thing that is going on around. Whatever, you define it. Okay, we're going to bring money together. We'll create a company. And this company is going to go into these areas of business. And the sharing formula is 60-40. I don't want cheating. I want you to keep your commitments with me. Or the sharing formula is 50-50. Because it's easy now until money starts coming. We hit one contract, 20 million for those who are at that level. Another one, 20 billion. Then the human thing will come up. Greed will come up. But where there is covenant, that greed will have to stop. Because if that greed crosses the boundary, the man that exhibited that is going to lose his life. So there is definition of terms. Number 3, then there is exchange of gifts. Can you put up where Jonathan and David did covenant? 1 Samuel chapter 18. Put it up. Let them see fast, Jonathan loved him. 1 Samuel chapter 18. After he has, start from verse 2. Saul took him that day, I will not let him go. After he killed Goliath, and then, so what happened, verse 3, and Jonathan and David made a covenant because he loved him as his own soul. This covenant was not primarily for protection. It was not for business or partnership or teamwork. It was for relationship. The man wanted a relationship with David, and he wanted the thing to extend to their children. That's why if you notice, Jonathan later died. He died fighting a war with his father. David asked after his family and found out that he has a son by the name of Mephibosheth. He took responsibility. He brought the guy into the government house, made him rich, established his business, gave him servants, and he was ruling with David from the palace. And the guy in question was even a crippled man. It's because of what existed between him and Jonathan. Because it would have been an offense that would have come after David somewhere along the line, but abandoned his covenant brothers' descendants. Anyway, verse 4. And Jonathan stripped himself of the robe that was upon him, gave it to David. This is a poor boy, shepherd boy. You are the one that had. He started empowering David. So there is exchange of gifts. And it's not one person giving, it's both parties. In the marriage covenant, we do it with ring, symbolic, but it's more than that. If you don't want to be a generous person, a giver, don't get into covenant. Covenant demands giving. He gave him his robe, changed his dress, gave him his garments, even to his sword. And in those days, I don't know if you have read, Pastor Ben, you read it. The Bible said in the whole Israel, nobody had weapons. All Israel, the Philistines were the ones who had custody of goldsmith and metalsmith and all that. The Jews didn't have weapons. You can see what David used when he fought Goliath. It was a catapult. But because of covenant, it was only Saul and Jonathan who had that. He armed the young man. Yes, I landed Lagos. Do you know what I did with my yesterday? I was driving around because a friend of mine, who's been my friend from university, he doesn't have a house. I drove them. Pastor Shola was with me and a few other people. We entered the states, I drove, until we found two options. And I called him and I said, choose which of them. And I'm paying for it. That's it. He gets a brand new house because of covenant relationship. And when I got home, I was talking to my daughter about it. I said, you guys are 4 who have been friends, I know. And they are all pastors' kids. I said, after you marry now, leave school, things will turn out differently. You might find one that is not doing well. You might find some of their families so. I said, but if this relationship will take it further, make it covenant, something that will last for a lifetime, it will be the responsibility of the rest of you 3 to come together and make sure that you rescue that one. Doesn't matter whether the husband is a carpenter. You go, if set up a business, do whatever is necessary. This is what God expects from Christianity. You don't want to clap. That's where you should have clapped. It's not just joining church association. No. You get a family that is loyal to you, that will even watch your back better than your natural family. That's what everybody wants. You know, one of the reasons I decided to do that, I watched, he lost his brother, a medical doctor. He's in this Lagos. And we were somewhere, he calls me that there has been an accident, and it was his brother, the only brother he had born of his mother with him, polygamous home, but he had an extended brother from other women. This one is the only one. And I took the next available flight to land because of covenant. And when I got there, we got to only to meet a dead body in the hospital. He was crying and holding my I've never seen him like that. He said, that means I'm alone in this whole world. The mom is dead, the father is dead. This is the only person. That means I'm alone, Pastor David. God has anointed you, you raise the dead. Please do something. I went there, ordered for the corpse. What's the name of that hospital? In Lagos, yeah. Ordered for they brought out the corpse. When I even saw the corpse, the little faith I had left. Why? Because the head was broken. It was a motor accident. And he's a medical doctor. He has car. I don't know what happened. He was in Oshodi. He parked his vehicle. He was trying to cross that road. A vehicle came on now. And when I saw the broken skull, I just started comforting him. He refused to be comforted. The people, they carried the body inside. And then after, the burial and everything, I watched him. He wasn't himself again. So one day I said, he doesn't have a brother, but he has a brother who said he's the one that you are born with from the same womb. There is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. I'm not going to be alive and watch. So I brought him to live with me for 2 years. He lived with me in the same house and furnished place. I said, yes. He was in a state. I wanted him to recover first. Now it's time for him to have his own house. He's somewhere. It's me that is running around. God has given me the ability to do that. That's what covenant is all about. Yesterday he fires me one text. He said, I have come back to life. He said, you have done for me what even my father, even if my brother alive, would not have done. You want to say something?
You need to see his face. He became like a child.
He became like a child.
Jumping around the room. I was with him.
You were with him? Because they were together.
He couldn't contain himself. Said, I thought I was dead. Now I found my life back. You know, he asked me to tell you that he doesn't have words enough to tell you thank you.
I got a big duplex for 2 of them. That's where they are in Abuja. That's where they are. But living in a rented, what I said, he needs to have his own house. That's where they are because he can't travel. He's, the traveling restrictions. So that's what all of us are looking for. Because somebody is strong today. You don't know the day you will be weak. But will there be another hand? It's something you need to know. Can I get you guys to stand? I use it for illustration.
No, why not?
This is how life is, brothers and sisters. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. So this is one mountain. This is another mountain. And between the 2 mountains, what do you have? A valley. So that's what happens to life. Sometimes we climb up. There are sometimes life deal this thing to us. We are back in the valley. Pastor Shola, I need to come to Lagos 2 times on this covenant thing so I can let these people go. There are things I have not gotten into. I need to show them some things. And I want to lead them into covenant with God. You will see what will happen in 1 year. It will shock you. The kind of things what people will be doing here. I don't have the time, but I'm going to come back. I need to come back. It's a need for the sake of, sometimes it's valley, you are here. And some people, like, look at accident now, that situation. How do you explain it? Look at somebody that carried this money. Okay, there is a friend I had. He carried this money, all the money. They borrowed extra money, 300,000. They wanted to start up an investment, a business, a company in Lagos, in Abuja. And they paid the man. Paid in full. Plus the money that was borrowed. Then that man travels for burial and dies in a motor accident. Now, the family is mourning the loss of the man, but this, my friend, now goes to the wife. He didn't have the mouth to start telling the wife, either you reform me in the morning or whatever. He went to explain what agreement he had with the husband. The wife said, my husband didn't tell me. And there was no way, because they are still signing the agreement for that property. It's a business premise. And they have not finished yet. He just said, when I go and come back, we'll tidy up this week. Now, the dead man is dead. The family has lost. But it is my friend. His whole life is shattered. The person he borrowed money from, his business partner who didn't follow him, believed that he ate his money. The one he borrowed money from. Life sometimes deals that to people. You see the valley. And some people, after a while, you see some people, they climb back up. Very few people climb. There are some people, once they hit down here, that's where they're going to end. Some of you have parents like that. And when they hit down, they have not been able to come up there again. But there is another person. Now he's up in the valley. He's up on the mountain. He's empowered. He has maybe money or whatever he has. He remembers other people and empowers others. He empowers this one here. Empowers another person here. He's standing here. Empowers another person here. What happens to him is that when his valley time starts, as he starts coming down, there is a bridge here linking him here. There is another bridge linking him here. There is another bridge linking him here. Instead of falling to the ground, as he starts falling, the bridge keeps him. Then he crosses here and is empowered to his next mountain. That's what covenant relationship does. I don't know where you are watching from around the world. This is what has gone wrong with Christianity of today. We have lost the understanding of covenants. We watch our brothers die. We don't care. And you know what I tell our senior pastors? My direct 12. I say, I do it for you, with you. As an example, make sure it's trickling down. You do it for your own 12. Teach them to do it for their own 12. Teach them to do it for their own 12. Teach them. Anybody God has blessed, take 12 believers, 12 others, and mentor them to your level. Empower them to your level. Teach them business. And create a covenant, because if you eat alone, you will die alone. You don't know what the future holds. You don't know the day things might. It might be one of those ones that are answering you, sir, that will be the one that pick you up. You are falling backward, but you find out that you are not able to fall anymore. Something has held you, and it's one of the people you empowered where you had the opportunity, and then they put you back in stage. Me, I'm never ever planning to fall or to let somebody help me. I have a covenant with another person. His name is Jehovah. That hand, when he holds you, you never fall. He said the path of a righteous man is like a shining light that shines brighter and brighter. That's me. That's the vertical covenant. But just because I have that does not mean I ignore the horizontal. In the world where you and I live, there are two powers that make things happen. The power of God and the power of man. After the power of God, you need manpower. You need the power of relationships to change any equation. Bow down your head. Because there are some of us, businesses, you have the idea. It's somebody else you need who have the money. Some of you have the money. You don't have the time to go and run that thing. You need partnerships. You need synergy. But where do we find trust? Where do we find integrity? That's where the issue is. Dominion City, wherever you may be all over the world, if you guys will learn covenantal living, learn this, you will rule the world. You will. Dominion is given as in unity, not in individualism. Let them, not let him, not let her. Let them have dominion. If you can create synergy, you can create unity, you can understand how to harness the power of networks and relationships. There is nothing you cannot accomplish in this world. That's what God has taught me and some of us that laid the foundation of this mandate. When you hear the exploits we're doing all over the world, they think it's some wealthy people, some powerful people. It's a small group of people that are doing this thing. But there's something we understand. There's something we understand. All my 12 are mighty men. They're all doing exploits everywhere. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed? If you watch, I don't know whether it's last week or what, I did the program to a point. I turned it over to Dubus. Somebody sent me a message for you. He said, fire fell online. That's what we do. We are not building the type of ministry where only general overseer or one person is doing well, other people are. No, not in a covenant environment. There's things I'm going to teach you guys. You will see. You will harness the most powerful businesses and opportunities in this whole country. Nigeria is a promised land. It's a land of opportunity. Don't let anybody fool you. All this corona nonsense. Nothing has happened. Did money fly to Mars? Did they shift your money to the moon? All the currencies are still here. You just need to set travel where nowhere is flowing and catch it there. People that want to build estates, people that want to do big things in this, people that want to take governance, people that want to hold spiritual rods. God is not hard to please. God is not the one holding people. Only less than 5% of people in the church understands it. The Kenekoplans, the Idahosas, the Oyedepos, but how many? And they're all high flyers. The rest are just there doing boyfriend and girlfriend with God. God doesn't do casual relationships. God does covenant relationships. Something is going to start even today. When I finish praying, you will see that one. One of the first blessings that you gain when you are into covenant with God is a handshake of friendship. This is when you say God appears to people. You think it's a joke. You know that it's real. The least he can do, if he doesn't want to do that by himself, you start having angelic visitation. You start having what is called open heaven. You live under the blessing. Doesn't matter what's happening in the environment. It doesn't affect you. He becomes partner in your business, in your endeavor. He becomes partner in your destiny. You see, this kind of thing I'm discussing, I did with a friend of mine. He's from another part of the country. We are not related. We're not even from the same part of the country. Look at him. He's from the north. What has this got to do with being from my place or not being from your place? Who cares about where you are from? What you need is people that will be loyal to you, that will defend your cause like it's theirs. If you find that person in the north, find him in the west, find him in Kafanchan. What's the use of being my uncle when you are the one that want me dead? Please put up that friend, your father's friend and your own friend. Do not forsake. Put it up. Let them see something there. Yeah. Thy own friend, your father's friend, forsake not. Neither go into your brother's house in the day of calamity. For better is a neighbor that is near than a brother that is far. Covenant will give you more than your natural family. Okay, like this my friend now. He has a brother that is alive from another mother. I won't say any other thing here. It's on TV. But he has another brother alive. But, me that is from another part of the country is, what is the use of a brother that is far off? It's better that there is a friend that sticks closer than a brother. Now that I'm down, I need capital to start. What's the use of you're a billionaire, but you're my uncle or you're my brother. What does that? I'm dying, I'm in hospital. What is the use of that if it won't help in a time of need? In covenant, you don't take advantage of people. You don't say, because we are my covenant, you come and take. You don't do that. There is no cheating or whatever. But if I'm down and I'm in need, what the covenant brother has is at his disposal. That's why if South Korea has war against them, America's superpower might will come to their aid. That's the purpose of covenant. That's the purpose of covenant. I'm doing my estate. I post it. I need supply of cement in trucks because it's estate we're doing. Is there anybody now, whatever, that is into cement deals? And because it's a covenant brother, I'm going to get him the best deal and still make profit. We're not saying you shouldn't make profit, but I won't cheat him. Let me pray for you. The first thing I'm going to ask God is the right hand of friendship. There is a level of relationship with God that many people don't know. You read about it in the Bible. You read about it in some of the past books. God's General Survivor. It is real. Father, in the name of Jesus, here are your children. You told me to take up this project. You said, I have many children, very few sons. I have many servants, even many men of God, very few friends. You told me I should first start with my own life, a life of friendship with God, and you told me to help undertake that mandate to bring more people into that place of intimacy. That's why I'm preaching it today and doing it exactly like you want. Your heart, you want to reveal yourself to men. You want to draw them close. Most people are not interested in that. They're interested in what they will get from you. Open the door of friendship. Open the door of intimacy. What you did with Abraham for these men and women. Even if when they came out, they didn't know what they are doing. Because you are a merciful and gracious God, open their eyes. Show them yourself. Let them know you. And let that revelation produce transformation in their life. Let it create in them men that are like God, that are reflections of you. That's what is scarce today. It's not people who go to church. It's people who are Christ-like. Produce in them men that are driven by your kind of values. Men that walk in love. Men that are upright. Men of integrity. Covenant keepers. And Father, with that, entrust into their hands as stewards levels of kingdom dominion, kingdom wealth, kingdom resources of different type, power, wisdom, glory, exaltation of different levels at their different levels of faithfulness. Position every one of them. Use them to showcase in 21st century that you are still who you said you are. You've done it in my life. You are still doing much more. You've done it with many. Do it with this. Thank you because I know you are faithful. It's your heart desire. Now let a new season begin in their lives. In Jesus' mighty name.